through our lives, the brain cuts through the muddle to find solutions, knows whom and what to ignore, when to zig and when to zag. It stays cool. It adjusts. There are changes taking place that allow us to see a fuller picture of the world, even be wildly creative. In fact, the most recent science shows that serious deficits in important brain functions, ones we care most about, do not occur until our late 70s, and in many cases, far beyond. What's more, middle age is a far more important time for our brains than anyone ever suspected. This is when paths diverge. What we do when we're on planet middle age determines what the next stop, planet old age, will look like. As one neuroscientist told me, at midlife, the brain is on the cusp. What we do matters, and even what we think matters. Over the years, we've been trained to think that the body and the brain age in tandem. Certain bodily changes are undeniable. Despite my best efforts, the regular runs, the laps at the YMCA pool, the yoga, I'm 20 pounds heavier than I ever was before. I need glasses that correct for 3 different distances: reading, driving, and writing on a computer. My hair, without help, is an undistinguished brownish gray. My face has deep lines. Sometimes, catching a glimpse of myself in a mirror or a window, I think, for a quick moment, that I'm really looking at my mother. And as we watch the hair on our heads turn gray or disappear altogether, we assume that there's equivalent decay inside our heads. It's not hard to imagine our neurons turning their own shades of brownish gray, drying up, or disappearing altogether too. But what's actually happening turns out to be much more complicated. And researchers, from sociologists and psychologists to neuroscientists, have discovered that middle-aged brains do not necessarily act like the rest of our bodies at all. So what do we know? What is known of middle age now comes to us from the results of major studies just now emerging of how people actually live their lives, as well as from research from labs all over the world that are now dissecting the experience of middle age, brain cell by brain cell. Our brains vary greatly in terms of which functions decline and which maintain their capacity, or even reach their height, in middle age and beyond. Parts of our memory, certainly the part that remembers names, wane. But at the same time, our ability to make accurate judgments about people, about jobs, about finances, about the world around us, grows stronger. Our brains build up patterns of connections, interwoven layers of knowledge that allow us to instantly recognize